For the head, we work with body color yarn. I use this type of yarn. We start with a magic ring and 6 single crochets into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Close the circle. Next row, row 2, is 6 increases. So 2 single crochets in each stitch around. I use a stitch marker to mark my beginning of the row. So this is my first increase. I go ahead and do 5 more. My second one. Third one. Fourth increase. Fifth increase. And my last one, my 6th increase. Round 3 is 1 single crochet increase, repeat 6 times. So 1 single crochet, and in the next one I have an increase. That means 2 single crochets into the same stitch. 1 single crochet, and into this stitch I do 2 single crochets. That's an increase. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets into the same stitch, and I repeat this until the end of the row. Fourth row is 2 single crochet increase, repeat 6 times. I place my marker and I start counting. 1, 2, and into the next stitch I will do 2 single crochets. That's an increase. So again, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and into the next one an increase. One single crochet, 2 single crochets, and in here I'm making 2 single crochets into the same stitch. That's an increase, and I do this all the way around. On round 5 we have 3 single crochets increase, repeat 6 times. So this is my first single crochet, my second, my third, and into the next stitch I will make 2 single crochets into the same stitch. That's an increase. again, 1, 2, 3, and in here I have an increase, so 1 and 2 into the same stitch, and I do this all the way around. On 6th row we have 4 single crochets increase, repeat 6 times. By the end of the row we will have 36 stitches. So 1 single crochet, 2, 3 and 4. In the next one we will make 2 single crochets, and that's an increase. 2 single crochets into the same stitch. So let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets. The next one will be an increase, so 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Increase, and we will repeat that all the way around till we get to the stitch marker. On row 7 we have 5 single crochets increase, repeat 6 times. By the end of the row we will have 42 stitches. Let's place our marker. So this is my first stitch, my first single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets, and in the next one we will have an increase, so 2 single crochets into the same stitch. And again, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, 3 single crochet, 4, 5 single crochets, and into the next one we'll have an increase, so 2 single crochets into the same stitch, and we repeat that all the way around till we get to our stitch marker. We will finish the row with an increase. Starting with row 8 till row 14, so 5 rounds, we will be single crochet all the way around, 42 single crochets in each round. So we're gonna single crochet all over, and we will do that for 7 rounds. Let's do 1 round together, and then we'll meet back here after we finish our 7th round. So row 14. So this is my last stitch of the first round, the 8th round, 42 stitches we have. And we need to do this for 6 more rows. So like we did this one, we will do the exact same thing for 6 more rows. And we'll meet back here after we finish row 14. Here we are at the end of row 14 on our last stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is my 14 row. Before finishing our last stitch on row 14, we are going to change color. I'm gonna show you how I do it. So instead of finishing my last stitch, I'm gonna keep it like this, and instead of taking the body color yarn into those both loops, I'm gonna take the color yarn, I'm gonna change the color too. And in my case is this color. I'm gonna take my stitch marker and I go into the first stitch, taking the new color yarn, and I have my first stitch. I pull a little bit on the beige color yarn, not to be too loose. The last stitch. So this is how I change colors. And now on row 15 we are gonna do 5 single crochets into the next 5 stitches and 1 decrease, and we repeat this 6 times. So this is my first stitch, my second, third, fourth, and then fifth. And into the next one we're gonna make a decrease. So I'm gonna take the front loop only of the first stitch and the front loop of the second stitch, take the working yarn through both of them, and then through the last two ones from the hook. So this is a decrease, and we're gonna do this 5 more times. Before going further, I'm gonna cut this yarn that I'm not using because it is in my way. And let's continue. So again, 5 stitches into the next 5 single crochets into the next 5 stitches, and then 1 decrease. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, 3 single crochets, 4 single crochets, 5 single crochets. The next one will be a decrease. So I go into the front loops of the next 2 stitches, grab my working yarn, and make a decrease. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the next one will be a decrease. I go into the front loops, grab my yarn, and have my decrease. And I repeat this all the way till the last beige stitch, because when we go to the first colored one, that will be the first stitch of the next row, of the 16th row. On the 16th row, we will start working with bubble stitches. We will have a lot of bubble stitches, It might be a little bit tedious, but you will love the final result. So the 16th row is 1 single crochet and 1 bubble stitch into the next stitch. Repeat 18 times. So this will be our first single crochet. We place our marker. The next one will be a bubble stitch. I will show you how I do the bubble stitch. I yarn over for a half double crochet and I go into my next stitch, pull through 2 loops, and I won't finish this one because I'm gonna yarn over again and go into the same stitch, pull through 2 loops. Now I have 3 loops on my hook, and I'm gonna yarn over again, go into the same stitch, pull 2 loops. Now I have 4 loops actually, I'm sorry, I have 4 loops on my hook, and I'm gonna do the final half double crochet into the same stitch. So yarn over, go into the same stitch, pull through 2 loops, and now I have 5 loops on my crochet hook, and it's time to finish my bubble stitch, and I yarn over and pull through all 5 stitches. This is my bubble stitch, and I do this 17 more times. So again, into the next stitch I'm gonna single crochet, this is a bubble stitch, I'm gonna single crochet, and into the next one I'm gonna do a bubble stitch. So yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over again, go into the same stitch, pull 2 loops, yarn over, I'm gonna pull through 2 loops. Now I have 4. I have to do 1 more, yarn over, go into the same stitch, pull through 2 loops. Now I have 5 loops on my crochet hook, and I'm gonna yarn over and pull through all 5 of them. And this is the second bubble stitch. And again, into the next one I'm gonna single crochet, and into the next one I'm gonna do a bubble stitch, and I repeat this all the way around till I get to my stitch marker. Let's do one more bubble stitch together, and then we'll meet at the end of the round. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then we'll have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we have 4, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and when we have 5, it's time to finish the bubble stitch. We yarn over and pull through all 5 of them, and we do this all the way around. So 1 single crochet, 1 bubble stitch till we finish the round. Here we are at the end of row 16, where we should have 18 bubble stitches and 18 single crochets. That will be a total of 36 stitches, and you should finish with a bubble stitch. So let's count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And we can go ahead now with row 17, where we will have 4 single crochets, decrease, repeat 6 times. This is my first single crochet. Let's go and do 3 more in the next 3 stitches. So this is my first, my second, my third, my fourth, and then we have a decrease. So I go into front loops only of the next 2 stitches. I grab my working yarn and make the decrease. One single crochet, two single crochets, 3 single crochets, 4 single crochet, and in the next 2 I'm gonna go into the front loops only, grab my working yarn and make the decrease. Let's do one more together. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now a decrease, so front loops only, grab my working yarn and make a decrease. And we need to do this, so 4 single crochets decrease till we get to our stitch marker. We should finish with a decrease in here. Here we are at the end of row 17, where we 4th single crochet decrease and finished with a decrease. We should have now 30 stitches at the end of 17th row. Let's go to our next row, row 18, where we have again 1 single crochet, 1 bubble stitch into the next stitch, and we repeat this 6 times. One single crochet, I place my stitch marker, and the next one will be a bubble stitch. Now, since I have 5 loops on my hook, I can yarn over and go through all the 5 loops and finish my bubble stitch. And I do this again. I do 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and 1 bubble stitch into the next. So I yarn over, I pull through 2 loops, I yarn over, go into the same stitch, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, go into the same stitch, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, go into the same stitch, pull through 2 loops. Now I have 5 loops on my hook and I can finish my bubble stitch. I single crochet into the next stitch. The next one will be a bubble stitch. Yarn over, go 2 through loops, yarn over again, go 2 through loops. Now we have three loops on the hook, yarn over, go into the same stitch, go through 2 loops, yarn over, go into the same stitch, pull through 2 loops. Now we have 5 loops on our hook, so it's time to finish our bubble stitch. And we continue this all the way around till we get to our stitch marker. So I finished my 18th row. I finished with a bubble stitch, and I should have 30 stitches in total. If you want, you can double check and start counting. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And now we can go to row 19, where we have 3 single crochet decrease, repeat 6 times, and at the end of row 19 we will have 24 stitches. So let's start row 19. So this will be my first single crochet. I place my marker. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, 3 single crochet, and now we have a decrease. We go into front loops only of the next 2 stitches, pull the yarn through. Let's do this again. 1, 2, 3. We go into the front loops of the next 2 stitches, grab the working yarn, and have another decrease. So 1, 2, and 3. A decrease in the next 2 stitches, and we repeat this till we finish the round, so we get to the marker. So we finished our round with a decrease. Now we should have 24 stitches. Next round, round 20, is 1 single crochet, 1 bubble stitch into the next stitch, and we repeat this for 12 times. At the end of the row we should have again 24 stitches. This would be my first single crochet, and into the next stitch I'm gonna do a bubble stitch. So yarn over, pull through 2 loops. I won't finish it because I'm gonna do 3 more. So yarn over, pull in through, insert the hook into the same stitch, pull through 2 loops. Now we have 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over, go into the same stitch, pull through 2 loops, and we need to do 1 more. We have 5 loops on our hook. We grab the working yarn and go through all 5 of them. This is the first bubble stitch of the round. Now we're gonna go again with the single crochet, and then a bubble stitch. Now I have 5 loops on my hook. I can finish the bubble stitch. Then I go into the next stitch, I single crochet and do a bubble stitch into the next stitch. We have 5 loops. It's time to finish the bubble stitch. And so we continue till we get to the end of the round, to the stitch marker. Here we are at the end of round 20. We finished the round with the bubble stitch, and we should have 24 stitches. Next round will be 2 single crochets, decrease, repeat 6 times. That will leave us with 18 stitches at the end of the round. Before going to round 21, we should start stuffing our toy, so it won't be harder to do it later. Okay, this should be okay for now. So let's go ahead with row 21 and have 2 single crochets, decrease, repeat 6 times. At the end of the row, as I said, we will have 18 stitches. I like to work tight when it comes to bubble stitch, because I don't want my stuffing to go out through the bubbles. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and then we will have a decrease. We go through front loops only of the next 2 stitches, pull the working yarn, and have a decrease. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and the next one will be a decrease. So I go to front loops only of the next 2 stitches, grab my yarn, and finish the decrease. So 1, 2, and the decrease. I'm gonna continue doing that till I go to my stitch marker, till the end of the row 21. We finished row 21 with a decrease, and we should have 18 stitches all together. Just to double check, I'm gonna count mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 stitches. Round 22 is 1 single crochet, 1 bubble stitch into the next stitch, and I repeat this 9 times. So 1 single crochet, and into the next one, 1 bubble stitch. Okay, this will be my single crochet, and then the next one will be a bubble stitch. I'm sure by now you already know what the bubble stitch is, because we've made so many so far. Now we have 5 loops on our hook, and it's time to finish our bubble stitch. Into the next stitch we go and we single crochet, into the next one we'll have a bubble stitch. So 5 loops on my hook, it's time to finish my bubble stitch. Again, a single crochet into the next stitch, remember to stuff your toy before closing the head. We'll have a bubble stitch into the next one, and when we have 5 loops on our hook, it's time to finish the bubble stitch. And we do this all the way around till we finish row 22. I finished round 22 with 1 single crochet, 1 bubble stitch into the next stitch, repeat 9 times. So at the end of round 22 we have 18 stitches. You can count them to double check. Now we should stuff some more and go ahead to our next row, to row 23. Row 23 is 1 single crochet decrease, repeat 6 times. This is my first single crochet, and I will have, my next one will be a decrease. So I go into front loops of next 2 stitches, pull the yarn and have a decrease. And again, 1 single crochet, I go into front loops of next 2 stitches and have a decrease. 1 single crochet and a decrease. And I repeat this till the end of round 23. I finish round 23 with 12 stitches. Now before I go to my last row, row 24, where we will have 6 decreases and close the gap, I'm gonna be sure I've stuffed my toy as much as I needed. And I go to my 24th round and have 6 decreases. I like to have my decreases tight so I won't have gaps into my toy. So I work only on front loops and I make decreases. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, this would be my last one, and 6. What I do now is leave a longer yarn tail. I cut my tail, pull the yarn, grab a yarn needle, and I go into the front loops only of the last 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then I'm gonna pull the yarn, and basically I've closed the head. Now I'm gonna go back and hide my yarn tail. I'm gonna do a couple of these. Let's cut the yarn. And this is how the head for Bubbles looks like. I find it cute, especially with these colors. So I have I've made one Bubbles that's white, one that's black, and now I will have a colorful one. You're free to choose any color yarn you like to work on your Bubbles.